Okay, so the next 4 problems are also going to be on the second video. So here we go. I'm going to cross multiply and cross multiply on this problem. So now I have 15 times 2x. Well, 15 times 2 is 30. It'll be x equals 6 times 2 is 12. And there's 1 0. So it's 120. Now I'm going to get x by itself by dividing it by 30 on both sides. So now I bring down my x. X is equal to 120 divided by 30. 30 goes into 12. Well, I'll think of it this way. I can match up my zeros, right? As long as I can match up a pair of zeros from the numerator and my denominator, I can cross that out. 3 goes into 12 4 times, and so it's going to be 40. So x is equal to 40. All right, next problem. I have my 9x, and I have my equation and my whole numbers, so now it's 9x equals, put in parentheses, oops, I'm going to put my 6 first, and then it's x minus 7, and that's in parentheses. Now I'm going to draw my arrow over to the first one, and then over to the second. To know that, I need to multiply each one in parentheses. So now I have 9x equals 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 7 is 42, but I have a negative, so it's a negative 42. Now on this one here, I need to join my x's together. So I'm going to move them just like I've done before. So it becomes a negative 6, a negative 6x. That is 3x equals negative 42. I'm going to divide each side by 3. So x is equal to 3 goes into 4 one time, and that's going to be a negative, so it's 1. And I'm left with a 12. 3 goes into 12 4. So the answer is a negative 14. And there you go. Now you're going to work on these next problems by yourself. So I'm going to put a star to make sure that you need to make sure that you're understanding how to do those. Now I'm going to set up these 2 problems. I'm going to do 2. You're going to do 1. And then we're going to go through one of these problems and you'll do the other. So Megan can ride her bike 18 miles in 50 minutes. At this rate of speed, how far can she ride her bike in 120 minutes? Okay, remember these are ratios, and ratios means that we are comparing, which is the same thing as the rate. We're comparing 2 things. So here I'm comparing miles to minutes. I'm drawing my fraction bar. I'm drawing my fraction bar. So now I'm comparing 18 miles to 50 minutes. And here I don't know the distance for 120 minutes. So I'm putting those all together. Again, I'm going to be cross multiplying one more time, right? So before I do that, can I simplify this even more? Yeah, I can. So before I even simplify, before I cross multiply, I'm going to simplify. They're both divisible by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. 50 divided by 2 is 25. And that's as far as I'm going to get. Equals, there's a little gnat flying in my face, x over 120. All right, and now I'm going to cross multiply. So I have 25x equals, and then I have 120 times 9, and that's 0, that's 18, so it's 1080. And now I'm going to divide. Divide each side by 25. This will leave me with x. And now I'm going to bring my division sign down here, or my division work down here, and kind of move that up a bit. So 25 goes into 1080 Well, 25 can't go into 1, it can't go into 0, but it can go into 180 4 times. So that makes it 100. Bring down my 8, and then my 80. 25 goes into 80 how many times? And that's going to be 3. So that makes it at 75. I have 5 left over. I'm going to place my decimal here and bring down my 0. 25 goes into 50 twice. So x equals 43.2. And this is the one that we did in class as well. So please make sure that you have that. Let's go ahead and do this one because I want to make sure that you remember that this colon means 2 as well, or 9 over 2. So the ratio of girls to boys in a certain class is 9 to 8. So I'm going to compare girls to boys. Remember that the first one given goes to the first number. The second one that we're comparing goes to the second number. So it's 9 to 8. And if there are 72 girls in the grade, how many boys are there? So I'm going to put my X there. Now I'm going to go ahead, well, before I even cross multiply, is there something that I can multiply 9 by to get to 72? Yeah, I can multiply that by what? 8, right? Okay, so since I can multiply that by 8, I can multiply this 8 times 8. So x is equal to 64. At first it was like, wait, that's a lot of boys, but we're talking about how many in the grade level. So it'd be 64 boys in the grade. All right, now you're going to do this one by yourself. Remember to set it up. What are you comparing? And here you have words to seconds. And then set up. And then fill in the blanks. All right, turn your paper over. Let's do the oatmeal cookies. Let's see, which one should we do? 48, how many? Okay, the only thing that I want you to remember a dozen is what number? 12, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do the Logan family uses 12 batteries on a 3. Now look at this one. They wrote out the number 3, so you put the number 3 above that. Camping trip. So how many batteries will they need for a 7-day or 7-night trip? So what am I comparing? Batteries to nights. So they used, so I'm going to draw this equals this. So 12 batteries to 3 nights over how many batteries to 7 nights? So I'm going to have you work that out. I've set that problem up. Over here, an oatmeal cookie recipe calls for 3 eggs to make 48 cookies. So I have eggs to cookies. Setting that up. How many oatmeal cookies can be made with a dozen eggs? So now you have 3 eggs to 48 cookies. I'm using 12 eggs over X. Okay? And then you're going to work that problem out yourself. All right, that's it for this one. Make sure it's due on Monday. It is a grade. Have a great weekend.